Hello, heroes, and welcome to the Dirge, a brand new YouTube channel devoted to heroes of the storm. I am Dirge, and I'll be your host. So I started this YouTube channel because I posted a topic on Heroes of the Storm forums, looking for advice on how to make it easier for myself to rank up through the ranks. I got a lot of positive responses, but it was really hard for me to explain my predicament to people who couldn't actually see me play. So I'm posting a minimum of 25 videos that are my games I've played so far this season, looking for constructive criticism. Positivity only, please. Any constructive criticism will be well received, and I promise I will not get my feelings hurt. That's the whole purpose behind doing this. Other than that, another reason I wanted to start my own YouTube channel is because I see there's a lot of content for Heroes that is made by Masters, Grandmasters, intended for people in Bronze, Silver, Gold, and the lower ranks. But I feel it's hard for them to understand the actual struggle that people that aren't Master and Grandmaster skill level. So there's not a lot of content made by Bronze, Silver, Gold for Bronze, Silver, Gold. So I'm hoping to sort of fill that niche a little bit and help myself learn as well as help other people learn. If you're looking for Grandmaster, Master level play, you're probably going to be sadly disappointed. However, if you're watching this video with the intentions of trying to learn and better your own gameplay, I'm sure that you're going to learn just as much as I learned from my mistakes. So, with that being said, let's dive into my first placement game for the season. I'm going to try to keep these videos short, less than a half hour, target time around 20 to 25 minutes maximum. This is my first placement game this season. I tend to main on Assassins because I feel it is easiest to punish enemy mistakes that way. Phoenix because he's versatile, has a shield so he can easily trade with people in the off lane when I have to do that. And I'm going to give this game from my perspective because that's the perspective I'm trying to learn from. And I will walk you through the game process and what I'm thinking as the game progresses. Going up to the initial engagement, there's a couple things that I look for. Being that I'm playing with mostly bronze and silver players, I know it's inevitable that somebody's going to make a bad engage, whether it's them or us. So I'm sort of waiting for that, watching for it, waiting for it to happen. In this case, their Diablo jumps in, our Artanis jumps in, and what I try to do is make it so that it's not a losing exchange. In this situation, I couldn't save either our Artanis or our Varian, so I know we gave them a chunk of experience by giving them 2 kills, and I retreat to the top lane to try to soak some experience and make that up before the objective starts. Now I have a nice little rotation when it comes to clearing minions on Phoenix, and what I aim to do is get a little bit of structural damage on the enemy structures before our objective comes available, so that way it'll make up some of that experience loss. So I clear the minions and start in on top tower. First exchange here, I want to point out that I always take out the back minions first, the riflemen or the spear throwers, because they're the DPS minions, and if you take them out, your minions will stay alive longer and you'll go into the structures with more minions, letting you spend more time dealing damage to the enemy structures. So that's one thing I wanted to point out to everybody. You'll notice my phase bombs are targeted towards the back minions. My Q plasma cutter is targeted towards the back minions, hoping to keep as many of mine alive as possible to eat the tower shots while I take down their structures. Fast forward past some of the boring parts here. It's pretty much just rinse and repeat. Now I do manage to get 2 towers, a wall down, and I'm seeing that the enemy team is showing on the mini-map, and nobody's really come up to give me sort of any opposition. So what I'm looking for here now, that I keep my eyes on the mini-map, make sure I see if anybody's trying to rotate up to get a good gank on me. But I go ahead and I try to aim now to take out their fountain, because that way if an engage happens to come to the top lane here, we immediately have an advantage because they can't retreat to, behind their walls and get a fountain to tap on. So last minion wave to clear here, and I do happen to successfully clear the fountain and still give me enough time to retreat to the objective before it actually becomes available. Also keeping my eyes on the mini-map, seeing where my team is, and I notice I got enemies closing in on my Artanis down here. I go to try to give him some assistance, put myself in a little dangerous situation. Their Diablo doesn't really capitalize on my mistake there, but I do get a chunk of damage taken out on their Falstad and happen to retreat, only taking minimal damage to my actual health pool. It did clear out my shield, but all it takes is a little bit of a reset and some time to have my shield charged back up. Their Diablo makes a big mistake and just charges headlong into a 5-on-1 engagement, and he gets punished for it. Chromie sticks around a little bit too long, gets taunted by Varian, also punished for her mistake. So those two mistakes on the enemy team at the wrong time is what enables us to get basically an unopposed objective here. Now you'll notice Falstad starts creeping up on the backside and tries to take us all on by himself. Not really sure what the point of that was, but he ends up getting punished for it too. So objective is won. I go back to top lane because I know we already have some damage done to their structures up here, and it should be pretty well unopposed. And they haven't responded to me yet, so I'm going to keep trying to get that experience advantage for my team. Notice that it's level 6 versus level 7. We've made up a decent amount of experience that we gave them in the first initial engagement, to the point where now not only do we have a one level lead, but also a talent lead at level 7 when they're stuck at level 6. So I end up getting their front fort here, clear some more minions. Falstad comes out to try to make an engagement. Chunk, takes some of his health down. What I'm trying to do here is just get him to retreat. I'm still staying in range of my cavalry because I want that offensive bonus that they give me as long as I'm in range of them. So cavalry moves up, Falstad's trying to take the cavalry down, and I chase Falstad off. Now I want you to notice whenever he comes back in range and overextends himself, I come back up and do more damage to him. I prioritize him over taking down the structures because he's the only thing that can scare me off. They end up clearing, even though I get the kill on Falstad, I'm not going to stick around to try to take down their structures because my variant is pinging for top boss. I don't think it's a great idea because it's just the two of us, but hey, it's a placement game and I'm playing with bronze and silvers. Worst going to happen is they come up, try to steal it from us, and I retreat. Luckily, our Brightwing makes a heads-up play, sees what we're trying to do, and comes up here to offer his assistance, and keeps Varian alive long enough for us to get the boss, even though Varian does end up dying. And I'll admit that is a mistake of mine because I should have traded places with Varian and let the boss beat on me a little bit to try to keep the Varian alive. But I'm playing selfishly because, once again, bronze and silver, I don't put a lot of faith in my teammates. So we end up clearing the boss, and it's going to push top lane. I come down here to assist my team now because it's level 10. And the enemy team is still giving us opportunities to capitalize on at terrible times. Objectives coming up and they're overextending, giving us the opportunity to make it an uneven fight going into the objective. So I'm trying to chase down this Diablo to get the kill on him and ensure that it's a 4v5 engagement in our favor. Can't really secure the kill. Falstad comes up and engages on me. He ends up going back. I notice that their Chromie's trying to drop bombs on me, so I retreat to come back to get the assistance of my teammates and make sure that we don't give them the opportunity they're trying to give us. Butcher comes up and takes an odd engagement at an odd angle by himself, so I aim to punish him for doing so, and having to do it successfully. Even though they take our variant out, we make sure it's an even trade. Falstad's up here by himself, so we come up to punish him, don't quite get it off, and he takes out our Brightwing for getting a little overly aggressive. I also pay the price, chasing kills that I shouldn't have been chasing. Now, I'll give it to our Junkrat did a really good job early game helping our team out here, and I'm going to give you a quick look at the stats about 8 minutes into the game. Our Junkrat has 5 kills, 14,000 hero damage, 7,300 experience. I only have 1 kill, 5,500 structural damage, 12,000, almost 13,000 hero damage, and a little less than 8,000 experience provided for my team. So they do get a cap on our camp, but we end up, or we get a cap on their camp and they end up retaking it back here. They kill our Artanis. Now it's actually 4-on-4 again. But here I come entering the fray. And their Falstad's trying his best to stave us off. But I notice that he's dead, or that he's low on health, so I plan to cracker him from a distance and take him out. Butcher almost gets me there, and I retreat at the last possible moment with absolutely no health left. And at least we managed to make sure that they did not get the second objective. We held them off long enough to do so. Now we're regrouping. They're trying to regroup. Their Chromie comes in to try to drop some bombs. So I'm out here looking to punish their enemy, or punish their team for getting out of position. And Chromie's the obvious choice because she's squishy and she's too close. So we moved in on her, secured the kill, and now once again we're moving in on a 4-on-5 engagement on their objective. Here comes the enemy team to try to hold us back. Our Artanis gets a nice swap off on their Sylvanas. Even though it puts him in a little bit of trouble, it's about who can capitalize first. So I end up dodging Falstad's ultimate, and we do secure a kill on Sylvanas and Diablo. Now it's 5-on-3. Should be pretty easy for us to get this objective from here on out. Chasing Butcher just to see if I can get an extra punish. End up retreating just because it's a safer thing to do. Come back and make sure that their minions don't retake their camp while my team's off chasing kills. Once again, bronze and silver, so... And I understand, you know, fighting people is more fun than killing minions. But what I try to do is make sure I'm on top of the things that are essential to secure the victory for us, not essential to securing my MVP or the most damage or the most kills from my personal performance for bragging rights. I care more about wins than I do about my personal performance or how many times I get MVP. So I see their minions are trying to channel. Our variant gets tossed by their Diablo. I go in for support, for some support. We end up losing the variant anyway, but we got the objective. So at this point I know we got nothing left to gain by staying in there and just trying to keep fighting them. And I try to pull back. Luckily, unluckily, Artanis goes in, engages on him again, and I don't want to see us lose another person, so I step in to assist, and he lands a good swap on Falstad. We punish him for it. Our Artanis is still off chasing butterflies, but not really my concern. So I get back in the aura of the cavalry, look to take some more structural damage, and maintain the 2-level experience lead we had. Hopefully try to get 16 before the next objective. I know we can get that with just a couple structures taken down, maybe a couple kills. And once again, I'm just trying to stay in the cavalry's aura for the extra damage. I'm taking the structures down rather than engaging in the team fight, but keeping my eyes open for any assistance I can offer the team from a distance without putting myself at risk. End up getting a kill on Falstad. Junkrat takes out Sylvanas, and we get this fort as well. Now we're about to end the phase of the second objective here, but we did make some pretty decent progress, and I'm looking to back up at this point. And I know they're going to go clear that top cavalry, so I mount up and retreat before anybody else can get caught off guard. Now I know they're going to go get their camp as soon as the objective is over, so I'm sort of waiting for that to happen, and I'm going to head towards our camp to make sure we have something pushing down the lane too. I pinged to my team to let them know that's what I'm doing, and I end up getting some support. I got a couple teammates coming over to help me out. Right wing also teleports in from across the map. We clear the camp quickly, and then it's going to push down the lane that their camp is going to be pushing down, just to make sure that we don't leave a lane completely unattended and let their camp push into our middle fort. Now from here, we do, somebody pings boss, and as a team, we move to the top lane to get the boss. At this point, we're unaware that the enemy team is also planning on getting the bottom boss, but we move in as a team, clear out this top boss. And enemy team gets bottom boss. I ping and let them know in voice chat that I am going to go to bottom lane to take out that boss, and in the hopes that they're going to go to the objective and focus on that, knowing that somebody at least is going to take down their boss. Now it just so happens that Junkrat comes down to help me clear their boss, and it actually ends up being a good call, because their enemy team goes to clear our boss, and they would have cleared it faster with their team versus me just trying to do it by myself. So Junkrat's assistance down here clearing the boss, I feel, was a good call on his part. But once again, correct me if I'm wrong. We end up clearing the boss, moving together up to the objective, which teams are already fighting up here. And finally, me and Junkrat show up and offer some support for the team. Secure a kill on Diablo. Our guys managed to stay alive once again to a heads-up play to that Brightwing who teleported in from across the map. His map awareness in this game and looking to be in the right places at the right time. I've got to give the guy credit. Seemed to be on point. And that right there gave us a 4-on-2 and once again secured us the objective. I see Falstad down there trying to poke, but he's not really a threat, and I know if he comes in by himself, there's more than enough of us here to punish him, and that's exactly what ends up happening. So now as they're respawning, Falstad's down for another 40 seconds. We know we got this objective in the bag. Now they're going for their camp again. They already have it engaged. We don't know that because they're not showing it on our map. So we decide to push mid lane. Ends up being a good thing because then we can clear that camp and push with the cavalry at the same time. Everybody's up except for Brightwing, who just died. He's down for another 30 seconds. Cavalry arrives and we get a little more aggressive at this point because it's 19-17 on the level advantage. And I'm trying to get us to level 20 so we can end the game here is my goal. It's the thoughts running through my mind. Looking for a little more punishment. Now at the stats, I'm starting to make up some kills. I passed Junkrat in hero damage and have him tied at assists. Looking to punish Diablo here for chasing or for being overly aggressive trying to clear out our bottom cavalry, and it ends up giving us his bottom keep. Now at this point, like I said, I'm looking to end the game here, so I'm getting pretty aggressive. He pushes me into the wall, and I'm not sure if it's a heads-up play on Falstad's part, knowing that I use my warp and that I don't have an escape from him here, or if he just happened to be like, oh hey, there's a guy there, let me go try to kill him, and he ended up taking me out, and that makes it so that we can't end the game there. We end up losing Artanis too, and we have to retreat. So it looks like we're going to go through another objective phase before we can actually end the game. It still gives the enemy team a chance to come back, so I'm not giving them any slack. I know it's 20-20 now, so we're on even level advantages. And they have just as much chance to win here as we do. So there's no point in letting up. We took our camp, now it's pushing down mid lane to counter their camp. Our Junkrat's poking from a distance, and I gotta give it to him. It seemed like he played a pretty heads-up game this match as well. Varian's going top as I respawn here in about 5 seconds. Junkrat's playing safe, not allowing the enemy team to get any damage on him. Varian's even staying back. Butcher charges in recklessly, as most people who pick Butcher do. And I move in to try to help with this engagement here. Brightwing saves the day with that ultimate that he cast there, getting separation on the enemy team, saving our Varian, and then it gives us enough time to go ahead and counter their push. Secure a kill on Diablo. Secure a kill on Butcher. Even though we lost Artanis and Junkrat, it ends up being a trade. But now we are 3-on-2 going into this objective. It's 2-on-2, and I know we have a longer time for Varian to be down. So I'm just trying to play safe here, making sure I stay alive and not giving them the objective. Falstad goes after our Brightwing. I try to save our Brightwing and do so. I see our chromies, or their chromies down there dropping bombs at me, and Squishy out of position. Instant punishment. Double kill. And now we can move in on the objective because their whole team is dead. I'm not really sure who's pinging our camp right now, but I feel like that was a terrible idea. And that's why would I waste my time getting a camp versus getting the objective while the enemy team is down. If you guys have different thoughts on that, please let me know in the comments. As I said, I'm here to learn, not to pretend like I know everything about this game. So we end up getting the objective. I know they're starting to respawn, we're starting to respawn. Junkrat does head to that camp to get it, and their enemy team comes right in to stop the objective. One thing I want to point out here is instead of engaging directly on the enemy, I see that their minions are trying to uncap their camp. So I'm spending more of my time and focus stopping the minions channeling on their camp than I do trying to kill the enemy team. I see Butcher is doing it, and I have to waste my ultimate to get him off, but I do stop him from decapping the camp. And now we end up having to fight them back, re-secure the camp again, but they're still playing pretty aggressive. And easy punish kill on Diablo there. Our Artanis is chasing their Falstad. We get the camp, and subsequently we end up winning the objective again. No, I'm just following my team at this point. Looks like they decided to go bottom lane, and I follow them down there. It looked like Butcher was about to split, so I was going to try to follow him, and then he retreated, so I came back down to help my team. Ended up getting a kill on Diablo and Falstad. Now I'm trying to chase the Sylvanas because she has a sliver of health left. I pretty much know we have the game in the bag at this point because there's no way that they're going to stop all 3 cavalries before we end up taking down Vandar. So I'm playing a little more aggressive than I should, I'll admit. And there I go again, trying to poke away at that Sylvanas who's low health, just ducking in and out of their core to regen her health. And ultimately it does end up costing me my life. And I have to go back to a respawn. But once again, not too worried about it. I know that we have this win in the bag. And it was worth just to have a little bit of fun there at the end. So we do end up winning that game. Final stats. I got 13 kills, 18 assists, 3 deaths. 101 siege damage, 72,000 hero damage, and 20,000 experience contributed to the team. And I ended up getting the MVP on that game as well. Junkrat and Brightwing also played really good games. But as it was apparent in the initial engagement, and this is one thing I try to squeeze out information-wise early in the game, is which of my enemy teams are going to contribute, and which of my enemy teams which of my friendly teammates are going to contribute, and which of my friendly teammates are actually going to be hindrances. See, Varian 6 and 7, Artana 6 and 8, so they both died more than they actually killed people. I know that's not the only contribution that they gave to the team because they both had 21 assists, but at the same time, I could pretty much say that their contribution to this win was less than mine, Brightwings, and Junkrats. Also looking at their specs, and I did this during the game just because I like to look at people's specs. Their specs were a little wonky for a Varian tank and for an Artanis Bruiser. Amateur opponent on Alterac Pass, not what I would go with. If anybody has any different input, please by all means put it in the comments. That's what this video is all about. Now this is just the first video of many. He said I'm going to be posting all 25 of my games that I've played so far this season. This was a good way for me to start the season. I felt pretty good about it. I felt pretty good about after all 10 of my placement games going into the season. But I'm hoping to see what I can improve on, because as you'll see after my 10 placement games, if you continue watching this 25 game series, you'll see where things progressed after placements. And like I said, if I hope to continue to be able to do this if I get enough support from the community here. So if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more and hear more from me, please like, subscribe, and leave your comments in the section below. Thank you much.